Hey guys, so we finally have some clear skies out. We've had 9 or 10 days solid of just cloudy skies here in North Dallas. But tonight the skies look clear, and maybe tomorrow night too. So let's go ahead and shoot the Tadpoles. My name's John Robinson. This is the Deep Sky Channel. Okay guys, welcome to the Astro Lab. I've got the Astro PC behind me. It's all set up. And we're also running in 4K.
Excellent!
So yeah, I have a new camera. We're running in 4K now. So tonight we're going to shoot the Tadpoles. I've got several hours already on this. The target is mostly done. I think I've got about 10 hours on it. We'll probably put another 4 or 5 hours on it tonight, make it a good 15-hour exposure and call it done. I'm going to shoot this in SHO, the Hubble palette, and I'll probably also mix it up in HOO just so we can see it. Now the image fits nicely in my field of view, so I don't need to do any of these fancy 4-panel mosaics. So tonight we'll show you a little bit of Sequence Generator Pro, a little bit of PixInsight, and then we'll show you the final image. I've got Sequence Generator Pro running here, and let me just show you a couple things on this. So we're in the Tadpole, IC410 Tadpole, and I've already collected, looks like 34, 31, and 31 subs on this. At the moment, I've got clouds, overcast skies, and so I'm not, I had to turn everything off because of these clouds that are going by. You can kind of see them, a little bit of cloud turbulence, but I did get 3 subs in, one for each of the sulfur, oxygen, and hydrogen. And so I had previously reset my filter focus for each of those filters, and I'm running the rotate through the events, and I did capture, it looks like 1 event for each. So this is the hydrogen sub. This is a 5-minute exposure. This is almost directly overhead at the meridian right now, and so I'm about ready to do a meridian flip, and I'm just waiting for these clouds to go by. So that's pretty strong data in there. I like it. Let's zoom in there a little bit. For 1 sub, it's a bit noisy as you would expect, but hey, you know, mostly round stars, and you know, it's looking pretty good there. Let's look at the next one. This would be oxygen. Yeah, not bad for oxygen. I think my focus is good there. And then this one is sulfur. So hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur in that order. Yeah, okay, we'll let these clouds go by. We'll finish the subs, then we'll come back into PixInsight. Well, the telescope is in a good position. It's almost pointing directly overhead at the meridian. But we'll see how sensitive my camera is. But man, I got some clouds up there, basically covering the whole sky. So the current time is 9:25, as you can see from the laptop here in the kitchen. And it's almost time to do a meridian flip. The software, Sequence Generator Pro, seems to think that the meridian flip should occur at about 10:04 p.m., but I think that's a problem. This is why it's a problem. I'm about ready to bang into the leg here, even though the software doesn't think it's time for a meridian flip. I'm going to go ahead and do a manual meridian flip. I've paused the sequence. You can see the scope here is pointing basically straight up. actually quite a little bit past the meridian. So let's take you through this meridian flip now. So I'm going to go ahead and do a manual meridian flip, and this is how it's going to look like when we do that. So here you can see normally it would tell you the time to do the meridian flip right there where it says NA, but you know, since so right there where it says NA, since I did not, so I think since I paused the sequence, it's not showing you that anymore. You can see the sequence is currently paused, so it's not showing you the time to meridian flip. It should be 10:04. But anyway, so I'm going to bring up PhD2 so you can see the guide camera, and I'm just going to turn that on, make this a little bit smaller so that you can see the camera from behind. And then we're going to go ahead and do the manual meridian flip. We'll do a reset here. The camera is now live, and you can watch the stars move across as we do this meridian flip. So what I'm going to do is center now, which is a manual center, and now it's going to actually move, and you can see now on the right, and once this starts to engage, the telescope streams across the sky. You can see, you know, stars shooting across as it begins to slew. At the same time, I'm showing you here on the screen the actual picture of the telescope itself. So I'm filming this in real time in two places, I guess, time travel. So I'm showing you the telescope, and I'm also showing you the actual meridian flip, or I should say this plate solving that's going on right now. So as soon as it completes its rotation and gets close to finding that other side of the meridian, then the right hand side where the guide camera is will indicate the stars will sort of stop, and you'll be able to kind of see that. There we go, we're getting close now, and it looks like it's settled on, maybe this is its first starting position now. It's taking a picture and now downloading that picture and then trying to resolve the plate, resolve how many pixels off we are from where the camera should be pointed in order to be at the right position. Okay, 30 pixels. Okay, so we're within 35 and we're done. And that's now meridian flipped. And now we can do a guide star, and we can begin our guiding again. And then we'll go ahead and, before we resume the sequence, I think we should probably do another focus since we've done another meridian flip. Well, it looks like I need to pause the sequence tonight. I've got about 10 more subs to go. I've got all the hydrogen and oxygen done, but the sulfur, I've had 10 more to go. I only got 40 on that. Here's the reason. Come to the back here. The telescope is basically just pointed just above the roof line there. And I don't think I have much more time. In fact, I might actually be shooting the roof right now, so I'm going to have to call this one. Hey guys, so I finished all of the subs. I had to do it over 2 nights, but captured everything. So I've got 50 hydrogen, 50 oxygen, and 47 sulfur. I didn't shoot the last 3 because the night sky was so beautiful and clear. I wanted to start on a new target. So I'm actually starting to shoot Barnard 33, the Horsehead, in narrowband. And so anyway, that's for another video. So let me go ahead and show you what we've got here. This is PixInsight for the Tadpoles. And here's what the sulfur ended up looking like. This is what the hydrogen ended up looking like, pretty strong as normal. And then here's how the oxygen turned out. Pretty good with oxygen and hydrogen, but typically not so much on sulfur and noisy. So here's how I dealt with that. The first thing I did was I mixed it up in SHO. So I mixed my S, H, and O as R, G, and B using pixel math. I just did S, just did it like this. S for red, H for O, H for green, O for blue. And you mix that up and it looks like this. That's my initial sulfur SHO Hubble palette. And then, of course, you do the SC and R on there to get rid of, the green. It does a good job of pulling it out. And then the invert on this as well. And then you do another SC and R on that. It has a tendency to get rid of those pinkish stars. And then invert it back when you're done. And this is the starting point for the Hubble on the Tadpoles. So keep that one as it was. So then here's the SHO, as I said, my starting position. From here, I like to remove the stars, as you guys know if you follow my videos. So here's the stars coming out, and here's the nebula separated from the stars. I do that using the star remover tool, which takes a little bit of time to run, even on this fast computer. But it was maybe, I don't know, 45 seconds to run on this thing. So here's the colored stars, and maybe zooming into them you can kind of see what they look like. And then here's the nebula without the stars. You can see it's got all the noise in there and all that stuff. We're going to go ahead and take care of that next. So now that we've got that nebula with all the noise in it, the next step is to get rid of that noise. And so here you can kind of see I've done an ACDNR on this thing. I've done a sharpen and a local histogram. So you can see it looks a lot cleaner in here. A lot less noise going through there, which looks pretty good. And then I took it one step further. Once I had it in this state, I decided to go ahead and bring it into Paint Shop Pro. I like Paint Shop Pro. I always have. It's by Corel. It's not Adobe, it's Corel. And once I was in there, let's see. Once I was in there, I did the stretch first. This is how I stretch the colors. So this is how the RG and B turned out after I pushed those colors up. And then I took it into Paint Shop Pro. And then I further refined it and removed some of the noise and sharpened it a little bit. So it's starting to take its classic Hubble palette looking color, you know, with that deep azure blue and sort of the beachy sand dusty clouds around the outside, which I like. So we'll go ahead and minimize that. So once I was here, by the way, here's the mask that came out of that, and then here's the nebula mask that I used after all the stretching. So this is the sharpened and cleaned up mask that I used to do most of the stretching with. Once I had at this point, then I went ahead and added the stars in there. And you know my technique for the 1.25 of the stars, just the nebula plus this 1.25 times the stars. And when you do that, here's what I ended up with. So this is what I'm calling the final now SHO. And I did the same routine, same process, and created an HOO as well, so that you can kind of see them side by side. So the HOO and the SHO side by side, and you know, what do you think? I like it. I have a tendency to go for that SHO. I just love the way this color turns out. I like the transition of the beachy color into the blue. You know, it just looks so good in here. I really like it. You know, and this is about a 15-hour exposure. You know, let's check out the subs here. So I've got, we look at our subs. Got some horsehead subs in there too. So let's call it 147 subs. Yeah, that makes sense. And 147 times 5, that's, I don't know, close to 15 hours, I think. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any comments or any feedback. And let me know which one you like, whether it's the True Color HOO or it's the Hubble palette version SHO. We'll see you next time. Bye.